to identify the need. We've all heard people don't care how much you know until you know they know how much you care. Learn to listen for people's needs and wants. This is a valuable skill. Learn to listen because we're looking to provide solutions. Are there people out there that need these solutions? Absolutely. How many of us needed the solutions? And we didn't know where to find them 6 months ago, right? Right? We don't know until somebody introduces to us. They might have a need and they don't know that there's a solution for it. Some people have given up on finding solutions. They've looked for them so hard. We can help them. Learn to listen for people's needs and wants. And by identifying the need, we help people be ready to catch the message we have to share. Imagine that this message, this CD, is like a platinum frisbee that you could throw to people. And if they catch it, it's valuable, right? Platinum, right? But if they don't know you're playing catch and you throw it to them, they might think you're throwing it at them. Have you ever gone into a store and there's somebody, you walk in a store and there's a salesman, a pushy salesman right in your shadow? Even if there's something you're interested in that store, do you find excuses to leave? Oh, I'm sorry, I came into the wrong place. Okay? Because we don't like that. We don't want to be that pushy salesman. Write this one down. Here's a good phrase for you for life. If you chase them, they will run. You want to test this out? Next time you get in an elevator, there's somebody in the elevator standing there, go stand right next to them. And what are they going to do? They're either going to move away or push you away, right? Because that's the natural reaction. If you chase them, they will run. Do not chase people. We are not chasers. We are educators. And if you've identified it, then we are going to use this preview pack. And I love the name preview pack. You know why I love the name preview pack? Preview indicates that there's something later, doesn't it? It's not just an information pack where they make a decision. It's a preview pack where they decide on whether or not they want to get the full information. It's a preview. And in the preview pack, we use a couple of things. We use the CD, and we love the CD. But the CD doesn't have stories on it. So we've added an element of the stories. That's the health news. And to the preview pack, we've added another element for a transitional element, which is the questionnaire. So this is the preview pack. You can actually get these, put it in there, put it in something else if you want, the preview pack. Doesn't that look nice? Okay, the preview pack. And the reason the health news is so good, because some people, when you give them a CD or lend them a CD, and you might find this hard to believe, but there are people out there that don't listen to it. Anybody had someone like that? You know, I had that with my mother for 2 years. 2 years, she would not listen to a CD. She finally said to me, Blake, I don't listen to CDs. I like to read. So I gave her the books. We had plenty of books, right? Several months into that, I realized she likes to read, but not Dr. Wallach's books. But I know how good this information was, and I would go and hear Dr. Wallach lecture, and I would write down what he says, and I would go and tell it to my mother. Anybody done that? Go and tell the person what they need. And can you believe it? My mother didn't listen to me. So I would listen to him again and see if maybe I said it wrong and write it down again on the phrases he used and go and say it verbatim. I mean, I went from lecture to lecture to lecture. Sometimes Dr. Wallach will go on a tour, and you can follow around and go to like 3 lectures in a row. You have to drive a few hours in between, but you could do that, right? And if you take notes on the first one, you didn't get everything down, you take notes on the next one and fill it in and take notes on the third one, you got it down. Yep, that's exactly how he said it. And I say it to my mother, it doesn't work. And I realized that it wasn't the words I was saying. It was the fact that I was saying it. Okay? Because even though I was in pre-med, and I told my mother, doctors don't understand nutrition. Look at my course schedule. There's no nutritional classes at all in any of the course schedule. Even though I told her that, when it came to the product, she went and asked her MD. She's on 15 different prescriptions. You know, well, what do you think? I wouldn't take that. You might overdose. We've got you just where we want you. Well, just where you want. 15 different prescriptions. Yeah, right. That's right. Okay? Pure white hair, neuropathy so bad she breaks her foot and can't feel it. And she won't even try this. Okay? Now, and I realized I needed somebody who had more credibility than her doctor did. But I happen to know a guy. Somebody who's beat the FDA 7 times, changed health regulations in our country twice. You know, you can't hear that from any other doctor, right? Has a book in the Smithsonian been published 75 times. How many times has her doctor been published? Somebody says, oh, I know a doctor. How many times have they been published? And most of them, if they've been published, 2 or 3. Okay? They could consider you a genius. And I actually saw this on TV. I thought it was so funny. I was just watching Leverage, this show. It's a TV drama. But there were 4 scientists there working for this company, right, this drug company. And the owner, or the CEO of the drug company came in and, look, you guys, there's 4 scientists. You've got 60 articles between the 4 of you geniuses. And I said it like that. I'm like, okay, 4 geniuses, 60 articles published. Dr. Wallach, 1 guy, 75. That to me is more. So, anyways, I happen to know a guy that had more credibility than her doctor did. But Dr. Wallach doesn't live in my hometown, and he wasn't coming to speak. And even if he did, my mother was not going to hear him. So what was I going to do? 2 years. And I had an idea one day when I pulled up into her driveway, and I was going to pick my mother up. It was my car. Now, whose CD player do you think it was? Okay, now, my mother drives, and so I knew that if I had the CD playing when she got in, she'd get right back out, because we'd had these discussions before. So I waited till we're going fast enough that she's not going to jump out, right? And I turn to my mother and I say, I need to listen to this CD for work. And I put it in hit play. Now, this is 2 years in the business. I've seen people get out of wheelchairs, folks. So I say, Mom, I need to listen to this for work. And I put it in and I hit play. How many think I had a captive audience? You think I had it, right? My mother gives me this look like, oh, you think you got me, do you? And she folded her arms and closed her eyes and went to sleep. Or maybe she's just pretending to go to sleep. I don't know, but I've heard of the subconscious mind, so I figure if the best I'm going to do is get into her subconscious, by golly, I'm going to get it in. So I turn it up. And what normally is a 15-minute drive to my brother's house took 20 minutes that day. Okay? But when we got there, getting out of the car, my mother turns to me and says, okay, Blake, I'll try the products. Here's what I'm saying. 20 minutes with Dr. Wallach on that CD was better than 2 years with me. The CD is powerful if they listen to it. But a CD you don't listen to can't change your life. You know what the health news does? It gives you stories. How many of you have heard that stories sell? Facts tell, stories sell, right? What we're selling them on with that, listen to the CD. But they read some of those stories and say, you know what? I need to listen to that CD. I had one person was out and they met somebody and they said, you know, they're just talking and they mentioned diabetes. Oh, you have diabetes? Interesting. You know, I work, and he used a special line that we're going to go over, and then open up the health news and had him read the section on diabetes. And that person was interested enough to listen to a CD. Does that make sense? That's why we use that together. There's a reason for that. The preview pack is the restaurant. The key is not how many CDs you share, but how many people listen to, and that's what it's designed to do. And that questionnaire is designed, say, fill this out and you'll bring it to the meetup. Okay? The questionnaire is designed to be a transition tool to help you get them to the meetup where they get the full picture. Because the CD doesn't talk about the 4 categories. It can't talk about the products. The CD can't do that. That's what the meetup's for. All right, thank you everyone for being here this morning. We look forward to continuing this in the afternoon. Be back here at 2:10. Thank you.